Never before has Canada's arrival at NAFTA talks been so critical or so closely watched. This return to Washington may just be the start of the final push to get to a three-way trade deal.
This is really going to be a full steam ahead effort with a lot of groups working very intensively. This is a really big deal.
Canadian negotiators spent the day examining the preliminary agreement between the U.S. and Mexico announced hastily by Donald Trump yesterday, and they must figure out if the deal is something Canada can work with. The Foreign Affairs Minister suggested it's possible, given proposed improvements to auto sector labor standards.
Mexico was able to do something that I think must have been quite difficult for Mexico, and make those concessions does really set the stage for some productive conversations for us here this week.
But sources tell CBC News Canada is worried about a different proposed change to the dispute resolution system. The preliminary pact is expected to weaken what's known as Chapter 19, something Canada has said it will not accept. And there is another big tension point.
There's a word that Canada has trouble with. It's milk, milk. Anything to do with milk and dairy. They're going to have to fix that.
Donald Trump's most trusted advisors are repeating his calls for Canada to kill the dairy regulation system called supply management.
We will engage in a positive and constructive way, as we always have been, and look forward to ultimately signing a deal as long as it is good for Canada and good for middle-class Canadians.
But if Canada doesn't act quickly, there are more suggestions it may get left behind.
We hope that they are resolved so that Canada can be part. If that is not the case, we would be ready to move forward. And but that doesn't preclude Bashi, Canada joining in future moments.
Senior Canadian officials tell me there is a reasonable chance of success. Some kind of deal can be reached by Friday. And it appears no time is being wasted, with the Canadians meeting the Mexicans tonight and the intensive talks resuming first thing tomorrow. Rosie.
Okay, Katie, so a lot of people are probably wondering, why is there a rush to try and get this done by Friday?
There are 2 points to that. The new Mexican president wants this wrapped up before he takes office on December 1st. And in order for that to happen, the U.S. Congress must complete its 90-day approval process. For the math to work out, they need this wrapped up by the end of the week.
Okay, Katie, you'll be on the story all week. Thank you.
Thanks.
Let's take a closer look now at one of the sticking points in those talks, dairy and poultry, protected in this country by something that you've heard the name already, supply management. Canada manages or controls the supply of milk, cheese, eggs, chicken, and turkey, and it limits foreign imports like U.S. dairy with some pretty steep tariffs. It controls the supply of what's available, but farmers also like it because it prevents cheaper American products from flooding in and forcing Canadians out of business.